to talk about how to run a simple one-way ANOVA in SPSS. I'm going to use our homework problem number 1 from the homework number 4 as an example. In this homework problem, there are 3 different sections. Our independent variable is basically class, and we have 3 levels of class. We have Freud, Skinner, and Piaget. Our dependent variable is their evaluation scores, so we're wondering if these evaluation scores, if the mean of each of these classes is different at any point. And so because there are 2 or more groups, we're going to use an ANOVA. Now the way you enter this into SPSS is you want to go ahead and create 2 variables, one for the group. Again, the group in this case is one of each of the 3 classes, and one for the actual dependent variable information. So I'm going to do that first by starting in variable view. So I click on variable view, and I'm actually going to just name one of the variables group, and I'm going to name one of the variables evaluation, because this is their evaluation scores in this particular problem. Then I'm going to go back to data view. So now I have 2 columns. Now in the first column, I'm going to do it based on my groups. So it looks like I have 5 in the first group, so I'm going to put 5 ones here. Because remember, when we're using a grouping variable, we have to label the groups using numbers. So then I have 5 in group 2, which is the Skinner group. And then I have 5 in group 3, which is the Piaget group. Now some people get really confused when you're looking at these numbers because they might forget which group goes to what. And so let's go back into variable view. And we can now give this group some labels so that the numbers are actually attached to the actual groups in our problem. So if I click here under values and I click none, then it gives me this, and I can say the value is 1, the label is Freud, because that was our first group. If it's a 2, it means it's part of the Skinner group. And again, I'm just clicking add here. If the value is a 3, then it's the Piaget group. And I'm going to add those there. And then you just click OK. Now, when we go back to data view, we still see these numbers. But if you want to see the actual names of the group, then you go over here to this A to 1, and you click on that, and it switches to Freud, Skinner, Piaget. What's nice about putting in those value labels is that when we do the actual analysis, and the output will tell us these labels, so we can actually see Freud, Skinner, or Piaget rather than 1, 2, or 3. Now the next thing we have to do is we have to put in the data. So we're going to go ahead and go back to the data view. I'm going to pull the homework up so we can see it. Okay, so all I've done here is I've actually added the scores from the homework for each of the groups into the evaluation category. So some of you may have tried to do 3 separate variables, but remember when we're doing ANOVA, this is actually one independent variable. Just the group in general, or class, would be the independent variable. And then these are called levels, so the different categories within that variable are often referred to as levels. So you're going to go up to Analyze, Compare Means, One-Way ANOVA, and it's going to give you a window that looks like this. Okay. Now our dependent list is going to include the dependent variable information, what we think depends on something. So in this case, we think the evaluation score depends on which class they're in. And then the group is our factor. If you want to have descriptives as far as means and standard deviations, then you click on Options, and it gives you this box, and then you go ahead and select Descriptive. Click Continue, and click OK. And here's our output. Again, because we labeled those variable groups, now we have information listed by the names of the teachers, and we have the means, and we have standard deviation. Here's our descriptive table. And then down here we have an ANOVA table, where this is our F value, and this is our significance level. And this is the main thing you want to look at. Okay, so the significance level tells you that this is actually less than 0.05, so this particular test is significant. Now at this point, the only thing the ANOVA has revealed to us is that there's somewhere between these classes there is a significant difference, which means that these teachers do have different evaluations significantly. Now if we wanted to know more, we might do what's called a post hoc test. So you set up the same way, you go to Analyze, One Way ANOVA, then you go to Post Hoc, and for this case we'll do a Bonferroni. And what a Bonferroni Post Hoc it does is it actually compares each group to the other group. So here it's comparing Freud, Skinner, and Freud and Piaget, and then Skinner and Freud and Skinner and Piaget, and then Piaget and Freud and Piaget and Skinner. You'll see that the only significant difference here, it appears, is between Freud and Skinner. So their mean difference is 2.2. And this being negative tells us that Freud was 2.2 different than Skinner, or 2.2 less than Skinner. And that's what a post hoc tells us. So if we were going to interpret this, we would basically report to the dean that Freud is significantly less than Skinner as far as his teaching evaluations, but that Skinner and Piaget are generally the same in their teaching evaluations. And that would be the interpretation. Thanks for watching.